One of the reasons why most people don't achieve their goals is because, well, they're actually not set up for them to be achieved. So you've got to make sure that they are achievable. You chunk them down from your big goal for the entire year to creating goals for each month, goals for each week, and then of course goals for each day. Once you do that, you'll find that it's actually the little steps that make all the difference. Hey there, I want to walk you through your marketing strategy. I'm talking the entire shebang, your entire plan for making sure that your marketing for 2022 is absolutely nailed. Now, looking back at 2021, I know that when we got to the end of 2021, most people were thinking, phew, I'm so glad this year is over. But I don't want you to think that yet unless you are prepared for 2022. So in this video, I want to share 5 steps to planning your marketing for 2022, and if you stick around until the end, I have a special invitation for you that will really help you to implement what I'm teaching you in this video. So if it is your first time watching me, then thank you so much for joining me. I'm Pamela Bassett, the founder of The Lucrative Lady, and I'm so excited to have you here on this channel. I talk about all things social media, sales, and sales system. In essence, I just want to help you to make more money. That's really what I'm about. So that's what this channel deals with. If you love what I'm sharing, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your bell because we publish 3 times a week and we publish good stuff as well. So make sure you subscribe and give it the thumbs up. Let's dive in. Now, if you've already started thinking about your plan for 2022, then you are doing the right thing. But I can promise you that for most people, it is actually a very, very daunting task, especially when you have, a lot of things that you want to prioritize, or if you have big goals like I do, or for example, if you're actually just looking forward to the end of the year, for the year to end already. So for most people, this is actually a daunting process. Now, looking back at my business, I found that the years that my business has done exceptionally well, it is as a direct result of the plan that I did in December the year before for the upcoming year. Direct result. I find that when I'm prepared, things just flow so much easily. I remember when I was younger, I heard a phrase that really stuck with me, and that is, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. And it is because of that that I dedicate every single month of December of every year to planning for the following year and creating a plan that is tangible, it is feasible, and something that I can stick to. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. I'm going to be walking you through what those 5 key steps are. So before we dive in, I have a question for you. What are you planning for? Because the planning that we create today, or rather the blueprint that I'm going to be sharing with you, it should serve as a blueprint for your decisions in the upcoming year. So you first got to decide, what am I planning for? Are you planning specifically for just your business, or are you planning for other areas of your life, or is it a combination of different areas of your life that you are planning for? For this video, I really want to focus on your business, so be clear on what it is that you are planning for. Now, you might be thinking, Pam, when I plan an entire year, what if things change, right? I don't know tomorrow, I don't know what might happen, and the truth is, yes, they will change. But the benefit of planning is that it gives you something to stick to, so that when life throws you a curveball, you know how to get right back on track, because guess what? You had a plan. And so whilst you may have some curveballs, and yes, things will most definitely change, you at least know that you have a plan that you can always come back to, and it is going to be a sound plan. So let's dive in. Step number 1 is to look behind to look forward. Now, before we can plan for 2022, we first have to look at what happened in 2021. What can we learn from 2021? What can we take ahead with us? What do we need to let go of? And all of that good stuff. So I have a grid that really supports me when I'm looking back to look ahead. Let me walk you through that grid now. So I want to open my digital planner to show you the grid that I use to help me to look back in order to look forward. So let's open this and let's flick through to a good page. So here is what I do. I create a grid. Now on this grid, I want to look at 4 specific things. So I want to first look at first is sales / enrollments. That's the first thing. The second thing is target market. Number 3 is what went well. And finally, number 4 is pause. What didn't go well? So this is the grid. So on this section for sales and enrollment, you really want to go back and track, you know, all of your sales points. So you want to look at things like what products and offers. What products and offers did you put out in 2021, for example, right? What did you sell? Did you have some high ticket products? Did you have physical products? Did you have any intensives? You know, what went well? You want to look at what products sold well, how many people enrolled, how many sales did you get? You also want to look at freebies. Here you want to look at your email list. What you're looking at is how many people joined your email list in 2021, right? Because this is what really impacts your sales. So if you said to me, Pam, in 2021, I didn't enroll any clients, or Pam, I enrolled 5 clients, or I generated 10 sales, or whatever it is your KPIs are according to your own business. But let's say you're a coach, you know, or you're a service-based business owner and you are enrolling clients. So let's imagine that you're going to say to me, Pam, I only enrolled 5 people into my program in 2021. The next question I'm going to be asking you is, okay, so how many new people joined your email list in 2021? Because this is a very important question, because we know that email marketing is king when it comes to generating sales and generating clients. So therefore, you've got to take a step back to looking at, okay, if I only enrolled 5 people or 10 people or 15 or 50, it doesn't matter. How many people joined my email list? Because in there you will find your answer. In there, what you will find is a direct correlation, right? A direct correlation as to how many people joined your email list to how many enrollments or sales that you were able to generate. You'll find that if a small amount of people joined your list, you will notice that your results in terms of sales and enrollments is also going to be a small amount. So this is very important. So under sales and enrollments, you're looking at your products, your offers, you're looking at your freebies, your email list, how much did it grow? Another thing that I would look at in this instance is how many asks did I do? So asks here, right? How many asks did you make? So for example, how many emails, social media posts, etc. So how many emails did you send out in 2021? How many social media posts did you send out? How many of them had a call to action? I'm telling you, these are things that people don't even think about, but realize that their answer to that question directly correlates to their results. I'll give you an example. I was working with one of my clients recently, and she's doing a launch. It's a launch outside of my program, so nothing to do with my program, but she's my client, so we're going to talk about it regardless. So I said to her, you know, how is your launch going? And you know, how many enrollments have you had? And she said, I haven't had any. And then I said, aha, let's open your email list. How many people are on there? What is your open rate on your emails? What is your click-through rate on your emails? How many emails have you sent? How many emails did you send on the last 2 days of the launch? Because as we all know, or rather, let's imagine you don't know, for example, but when you're doing a launch, the last 2 days of the launch are going to be really heavy with emails. So I always recommend that on the last day, you're sending 3 to 4 emails. The day before the last day, 2 to 3 emails are going out. So really around 7 emails on the last 2 days of your launch, right? So when you are looking back and reflecting on your year, looking back to go forward, these are some of the things that you want to look at. How many emails did I actually send out? How many of them actually had a call to action for somebody to schedule a call with me, or to buy my stuff, or to work with me, or anything like that? You've got to be completely honest with yourself in this section. So that is the sales section. In fact, let me change the color so that we can see the difference in what we are working with. Let's take it back to black. Brilliant. Now, let's look at the next segment over here, the target market. What a lot of people don't do is that, number one, they don't understand who their target market is. So there are 3 components that I look at in this section of target market. Number one is who. And then number 2 is where. Number 3, oops. Number 3 is want. Number 4 is need. Needs. I said there were 3 things, there were actually 4. So it's who, where, want, and needs. Let's look at number 1, right, which is who, right? Who is your ideal client? Now, when a lot of people answer this question, they answer it as a blanket statement for their entire business, but that's not the truth. Because if we look at the first area under sales and enrollments, the first thing on there is your products, right? Over here, your products and your offers. For every product and offer that you have, you've got to build a separate avatar for that specific product or audience, right? So who is the ideal client? And when you are reflecting, the other question that you need to be asking yourself is, are they still the ideal client for that offer? You see what I'm trying to say? And that depends on your results, right? So if you were able to enroll a lot of clients, so let's imagine you have a course or a program and you wanted to enroll 100 people. Let's just put a figure out there. You wanted to enroll 100 people for the entire year. It's a high ticket program, or it's a course or anything like that. You wanted to enroll 100 people. Now, if you said to me, Pam, I only enrolled 10 or I only did 20% of my goals, then my question to you is, your ideal clients who you were targeting, are they still your ideal client, or is this a good opportunity to build a completely new customer avatar? Something for you to really think about. The second thing is where, right? Where do they hang out? Now, for this, I want you to have a look back at where did you promote, this year, right? Were you promoting on Facebook specifically, and did that work well for you? So you might say, Pam, they're on Facebook, or they're on Instagram, or they're on LinkedIn, or they're on Clubhouse, or they're on, TikTok, right? Whatever it is. You've got to look at the previous year, this year, and think, where did I promote and did it work? Was it effective? And are my ideal clients hanging out in those places, or do I need new channels for them to hang out? You see what I'm trying to say? So that's what you look at. The next thing is want, which is, what do they want? You see, what do they want? Now, a lot of people don't actually look at the problems that their ideal clients are having. Now, there are 2 types of problems. The first type of problem is the problem that your ideal clients want to solve. The second type of problem is the problems that your ideal clients need to solve, right? They need to get rid of, right? These are different degrees of pain. These are 2 very different degrees of pain. You've got to understand, what do they want and what do they need, right? What did you learn about their wants in 2021? And what did you learn about their needs in 2021? Because if you can put these 2 things into your messaging and into your offers for 2022, you will do really well. Now let's look at the next thing. The next thing is in number 3 over here. In number 3 over here, we are looking at what went well in 2021, right? So you want to look at what went well in 2021, right? Did your marketing go well? Did you show up? Was it your show up? Was it your visibility that went well? Was it your campaigns that went well? Was it anything? Was it organic marketing that went well for you? Was it paid ads that went well for you? Whatever it is that went well, you want to write them in this portion here. And then number 4, in this section over here, you really want to talk about what didn't go well. What are you going to pause? Right? So take a bigger reflection and think to yourself, what am I going to pause for next year? Perhaps you spend a lot of time creating posts for a specific platform. Next year, you're going to pause that, and instead you're going to switch to video. So what didn't go well? Right? What are you going to pause, and what are you going to pick up for the following year? If you can create and fill out this grid, you will do incredibly, incredibly well, and it will give you such focus and clarity for your planning for the year to come. So now that I've walked you through my process using that grid for how to look back in order to look forward, the next thing you want to do once you have that information is then you want to set some goals for 2022. And speaking of goals, I have an incredible resource to help you towards goal setting. It's absolutely free. It is on the screen for you right now, and it will be linked below this video. Hit that link and grab that resource because it will help you to set up your goals. Now let's talk about what type of goals you should be setting for 2022. One of the biggest things that I think about when I think about setting goals for 2022, or for any year for that matter, is the first thing that I want to set is my money goal, right? So how much money do you want to make in the following year? The second type of goal that I want to set up is my lifestyle goal. What type of lifestyle do I want to have in 2022? So for example, how many holidays do I want to go on? Do I want, more date nights? How much more time do I want to spend with my kids? And what are some of the fun things that I want us to be able to do as a family? A lot of people leave that behind and they focus only on the business side of it. And I truly believe that that is why most people burn out, because they don't have a real balance in their lives. So as much as I spend time looking at my money goal, I also look at my lifestyle goals, because if I can have the lifestyle that I want, then it's going to motivate me to want to make that money. So these are the two types of goals that I set up. The other types of goals that I set up are the key metrics that my team need in order to execute these goals. So for example, we look at goals around how many programs we want to sell, for that specific program, or how many clients we want to enroll, how we're going to do it, how many videos we want to record per launch, how many launches we want to have. All of these things are all goals, and I promise you, once you get that resource that I talked about earlier, our goal setting worksheet, it will help you to really dive in on the types of goals that you want to have. When it comes to setting goals, you want to make sure that they are SMART. And I'm sure you've heard of the SMART acronym, but I'm going to remind you again because it never gets old and it is that good. So what does SMART stand for? So it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and it is a time bound. So whilst you create your goals for the entire 2022, when it comes to it being time bound, which is that final T in SMART, you want to make sure that you are setting goals for every single month of the year. So what is your goal for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? You get the gist. What is your goal for every single month? And then you want to chunk down your goals to what is your goal for every single week in the month. This is where it really gets down to the nitty-gritty of it being achievable. Remember the SMART acronym? The A stands for achievable. One of the reasons why most people don't achieve their goals is because, well, they're actually not set up for them to be achieved. So you've got to make sure that they are achievable. You chunk them down from your big goal for the entire year to creating goals for each month, goals for each week, and then of course goals for each day. Once you do that, you'll find that it's actually the little steps that make all the difference. Step number 3 is called define to conquer. Now, what does that mean? It means that in order for you to really crush 2022, you've got to define where you are going to be crushing it. So what specific channels are you going to be using? Now, a lot of people, ask me, Pam, I have this, I have several Facebook groups or several Facebook pages and Instagram accounts, and I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on all of these channels. Which one do I focus on? And what I always say is focus on where your ideal clients are hanging out, define what that is, and master that specific channel. So if we look at Instagram, for example, if we look at my profile on Instagram or any profile on Instagram, for example, you'll notice that Instagram as a channel, it has so many different components. You've got your in-feed posts, you've got IGTV, you've got Instagram Reels, you've got stories, you've got the Explore feed, and these are just a few of the features that are available. And so when you focus on lots of different platforms, what you end up doing is you end up watering down your efforts. And that is why most people don't grow. So what I recommend is that you define to conquer. So define where your ideal clients are hanging out and just conquer that platform. That's all you need to do. Define and conquer, right? That's all you need to do. Step number 4 is to target the right customers or the right clients. This is so important. As I mentioned earlier in part 1 of this video, your ideal clients are constantly changing. And in fact, with every new product or offer that you create, you've got to define who your ideal client is for that, where they are hanging out and all of that good stuff. So it's really important that you just get into the habit of creating this. And in fact, on that note, I just remembered we do have another resource to help you to really define your ideal client avatar across your products. And I will make sure that my team link that below this video so that you can grab it to make sure that you do. So it's so important to define that and to do it regularly through the year, because every time you create something new, it's going to be for a specific segment of your ideal clients. It's not for everybody. It's never going to be. So the sooner you understand who that market is, the more poignant, the more targeted your messaging will be, and the more successful your marketing campaign will be. And finally, number 5 is don't bury your head in the sand. I'm going to say it again. Don't bury your head in the sand. What am I really trying to say? A lot of people ignore so much because, they say things like, Pam, I'm not good at numbers. Pam, I don't really know. I don't really understand Instagram. I don't really understand Facebook. What you're doing is you're burying your head in the sand. Where you have a gap in your learning, fill that gap and go and learn it. You see what I'm trying to say? Know your numbers, know your conversion metrics, know how many people are on your email list, how many people are joining every single week, have key goals, check whether you are meeting those goals, and then change your strategy the following week or the following month so that you are staying on top of things. In essence, don't bury your head in the sand because it's not going to help you. I can promise you this, that if you follow these strategies and you are not afraid to look through and change things and switch things up along the way, the end of 2022 is going to be incredible for you because you are going to be hitting the goals that you had set out for yourself. But on the contrary to that, if you ignore all of the strategies and advice in this video, then of course you might find yourself back at square one by this time next year. And I don't want that for you, not for anybody watching this. So on that note, I'm so excited. I have a series of videos on this topic to help you to prepare for 2022. So make sure that you catch them all. The final thing I want to share with you is that I'm actually going to be walking a small group of people, mainly my clients, through this process. And this process is much bigger than this. In fact, what I want to help them to do is to create a digital mind map for 2022, which contains all of the offers that they need, their marketing strategy, their content strategy, and their sales strategy. This is what I'm going to be helping them to achieve, and I'm going to be doing that inside of my upcoming bootcamp. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at the link below this video, grab that and join me in the bootcamp, because we're going to be spending 3 to 4 hours together and nailing your entire sales, marketing, content and offer strategy for 2022. So make sure you grab that and join me inside the bootcamp. I'll see you there.